I think a lot of traders look down on binary options because they simply just don't understand binary options, period. So, in other words, if you were to ask someone, how does Nadex work? What's up with Nadex? Et cetera. Just as an example, a lot of them, because of how they already perceive binary options, which most of the time these guys will in most cases look at binary options as something beneath them. So they're already coming in with a completely different mindset, right? So if you ask someone who is showing all sorts of fancy stuff and trying to show that they are a master technician or in trading and all this kind of stuff, and they're showing all their little chartings and their platforms and showing live streaming trades and all that kind of stuff. If you ask those guys their opinion on binary options, they're gonna give you the quick scam speech, like, oh well, all of them are a scam and all that kind of stuff, and they may even throw Nadex into that box, throw Nadex into that bag, which wouldn't be true at all, but they would try to do that. And a lot of times you have these guys who do that, who just go straight to the scam basket, or they go to the other side where they just turn their nose up at it. And to me, it's a little bit of both. You just go straight to scam because of the history of binary options and because of how binary options were being operated once upon a time in the past. So that's what I believe is going on with the binary option situation. People just don't really understand how binary options work, and then they don't understand Nadex because they haven't been on the platform. They've never traded on the platform. A lot of these people who are kind of talking crazy a little bit about Nadex, and I'll just specifically just stick to Nadex. A lot of them have never tried the platform, and if they have tried the platform, they didn't explore it long enough to have a substantial opinion about it. So, this is what you get when you're talking about binary options and you're specifically talking about Nadex. Nadex has been around for 10 years. They're absolutely, stellar when it comes to, withdrawals and their trading platform. I personally don't care too much about the charting. They could be a lot better with the charting, but in terms of just navigation, in terms of the site being user friendly and things of that nature, they're absolutely A1 in that department. And quite frankly, anyone who kind of trashes, binary options or Nadex or anything like that, those guys, they're just in a different perspective based on how they are conducting their business as a trader. Okay. And that's fine. You can, if all you know is Forex and all you trade on is Forex.com or Oanda, or TD Ameritrade, if that's all you know, if stocks is all you know, if whatever it is that you're trading, futures, trade station, if all you know are those types of websites, or those types of platforms, or a particular type of strategy, your makeup, your strategy, and everything that is about your identity may not necessarily invite Nadex or specifically binary options into that fold, right? So a lot of these guys just don't have that kind of relationship with binary options and with Nadex. So when you ask these guys, what do you think about binary options, or what do you think about Nadex, they're going to turn their nose up at it, especially when you ask the big guys. If you ask any of these guys, I don't care if it's Tim Sykes, if it's, he already thinks everything's a scam anyway. If I don't care who you ask, if you ask any big player, anybody like that, somebody who has all this fancy stuff, they're working on a fancy, broker, on a brokerage website. They are, trading hundreds of thousands of dollars in an account, there's no reason to talk to that guy about binary options, because he's so far away from that reality. First of all, he's so far away from your reality. He's trading hundreds of thousands of dollars. These guys are trading high volumes of money a lot of times. And to ask them about binary options specifically, they're not going to be able to give you a very astute explanation about binary options, let alone Nadex, So they're just going to go straight to the scam basket, or they're just going to go straight to their nose turning up. They're just going to turn their nose up. And that's what you get with a lot of these guys. And anybody, it doesn't even have to be like a big player. It could be somebody who is just making a simple living off of Forex or something, or off of, stocks or something. And they're going to turn their nose up at binary options, or turn their nose up at Nadex, because they look at Nadex and binary options as like a little boy's game or something. They look at it as like, oh, well, that's just what, I'm a professional trader. I don't have time for that. I'm not going to entertain that because I'm a professional trader, so they turn their nose up and they're looking down on binary options. And don't get me wrong, there are some traders who are trading in Nadex who are doing very, very, very well, and they're making a crazy living off of Nadex. But those are the few. The rest of these guys, or anyone else for that matter, who isn't doing Nadex, for whatever reason, it seems like the person who is the farthest away from a particular profession or niche, or in this case binary options, they have the loudest mouth, or they have the most to say about it. And that's just interesting to me when that happens. But nonetheless, a lot of these people, they just don't understand binary options. They just don't, and even if they did dabble into it, even with the people who tried to work Nadex and they just stopped altogether, first of all, they just quit. And anything else that they try to say to you or to themselves, they're just trying to convince themselves and convince you that it was Nadex and not them. When the reality is, binary options is not like regular trading. It takes a different kind of person to work binary options, to actually work it. And I would argue and say that if you can work binary options, you pretty much could trade anything, because trading binary options is a game of precision. It is a game of precision. And if you're not precise with your entries or your exits or anything like that with Nadex, you're going to pay for it. And many times you pay big. So that's what a lot of these people just don't understand, and they'll never understand. But the more you do your research, the more you get involved in this type of trading, the more you'll understand for yourself if it works for you or not. So all I would say is, gain an understanding for yourself. Build that understanding and that relationship for yourself. Nobody else is going to relay that information for you, especially accurately. They're not going to be able to do it accurately. So do your own research, do your own homework, look into binary options, because it's doing really good things for me and many, many other people who are trading Nadex and trading binary options.